Which dinosaur do you think this skull belongs to? Actually, it's not a dinosaur at all. This skeleton belongs to a hippo, the chubby animal you see at the zoo. If we can get a hippo this wrong, could dinosaurs have looked even weirder than we thought? Everyone knows the T-Rex, that lean, muscular, powerful carnivore, with its teeth always sticking out. But it turns out, the T-Rex had floating ribs in its belly, just like crocodiles, so its stomach wasn't sucked in. It was actually thick and bulky. Also, those teeth were never exposed. The T-Rex had lips that fully protected them. We know this because the fossil teeth are pristine. They show absolutely no wear or friction. For instance, just look at this elephant skeleton. How would you ever know it actually had a huge trunk? The trunk, fat, and skin all rot away. They don't fossilize. Only the bones survive. So, for all we know, dinosaurs might have had colorful crests, feathers, or even loose skin flaps. But that is just one of the weird things about dinosaurs. There are 8 more waiting for you in this video. Remember that famous scene in Jurassic Park? The T-Rex can't see the people standing right in front of it just because they aren't moving. So, a monster with eyeballs the size of grapefruits was basically blind, huh? Not a chance. Its vision was estimated to be up to 13 times sharper than a human's. A T-Rex could spot a person from 6 kilometers away. Unlike most dinosaurs with eyes on the sides of their heads, the T-Rex looked straight ahead, so there was simply no hiding from those eyes. You know what else is completely impossible? A T-Rex and a Stegosaurus walking side by side in a green forest, fighting, or even meeting at all. It sounds crazy, but a T-Rex never actually saw a Stegosaurus. The time gap between you and the T-Rex is about 66 million years, but the gap between the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus? That's a massive 84 million years. That means the T-Rex is actually closer in time to us than it was to the Stegosaurus. If a T-Rex stumbled upon a Stegosaurus leg bone, it would have been a fossil, not a fresh meal. So, do we actually know what dinosaurs sounded like? If you're thinking of that Spinosaurus roar on TikTok, that's literally just a slowed down duck quack. In the Jurassic Park movie, they just took elephant, tiger, and lion sounds and remixed them to create those roars. It sounds crazy, but we have almost no idea what real dinosaurs sounded like. With one big exception, the Parasaurolophus. That long bone on its head wasn't just a cool hairdo, it was packed with hollow tubes and airways. Scientists actually 3D printed this skull and blew air through it. It worked just like a living musical instrument, blasting out a signal. Anyway, let's move on to a weird fact that personally blew my mind. Picture a dinosaur with a single claw, as long as a 30-centimeter ruler, and if you add the keratin layer on top, that weapon gets even longer. It is basically a real-life Wolverine. Its attack style? Not skewering, but ripping. Its claws were curved like huge meat hooks designed to latch onto prey and tear it apart. And if you get caught in that grip, forget about running, because its bones were pneumatic, meaning they were filled with air sacs. This made it terrifyingly light and fast, just like a ninja. When I think of dinosaurs, the first things that come to mind are jungles, mountains, and places like that. But research shows that some of the T-Rex's relatives didn't live in jungles. They lived at the freezing poles. The Nanoxaurus, nicknamed the polar bear lizard, made its home in Alaska. It spent 4 months of the year in total, pitch, darkness, and freezing cold. Because of this, it was covered in thick, white feathers. As humans, we tend to think that all mammals were completely helpless next to dinosaurs. But it turns out, a badger-sized mammal named Repenomamus completely disagrees. Inside the stomach of one of these guys, scientists found undigested baby dinosaur bones. But in one fossil, we even caught this maniac in the act. It attacked a dinosaur 3 times its size, bit into its ribs, and tackled it to the ground. And right at that moment, they were buried by a volcano. What a strange event. Speaking of strange events, what could be weirder than dinosaurs going on a psychedelic trip? There is a fungus called ergot. The raw material for hallucinogenic substances comes from these fungi. Now, picture this scene in your mind. A 50-ton Titanosaurus is grazing in a meadow and accidentally eats a bunch of these fungi. The giant dinosaurs were hallucinating, walking around like they were drunk, and talking to trees. For the end, I saved a dinosaur that is total meme material. You could call it a living vacuum cleaner. Just kidding. Its real name is Nigersaurus, but its mouth is actually really weird. Its teeth aren't on the sides of its jaw. They are lined up at the very front, just like the nozzle of a vacuum cleaner. It has exactly 500 teeth. The poor thing's head was so weak that it could never look up. It spent its whole life with its head down, like a lawnmower. Dinosaurs really were way weirder animals than we thought. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel.